Hello, Minecrafters and Infitechers. I have another video here, just a quick one for the most part. Sulfuric acid. Now, here's a study. Now, this is a Hydric sulfide, which is, I guess, short for hydrogen sulfide, is a byproduct of making nitrodiesel, such as with I have a video on how this nitrodiesel factory works. Plastic. I have made a video on how to make plastic as well. That also produces it, and just about anything involving oil. Making light fuel, heavy fuel, oops, down the hole, light fuel, heavy fuel, the naphtha, and plenty of other, and toluene and the other stuff that you use. You're going to get this stuff as a byproduct, and you're going to get tons and tons of it. You can actually make something useful with that here, and that would be sulfuric acid. So you want to grab these guys here. You got to fill these up in cells. This is a bit of a good example here of why you save old machines. So I've kind of finished with the low voltage age, but I still have a low voltage machine kicking around here. So this basic chemical reactor, I decided to hang on to it, not destroy it, and I'm actually glad I did, because I realized, hey, this thing will make sulfuric acid for me. All I have to do is throw these hydrogen sulfide cells in. And now I can start processing that into this otherwise useless hydric sulfide into a useful product. So sulfuric acid has a lot of uses in this game, quite a few. You can make this nitration mixture, which is useful for making explosives. You can make, let's see, not nitric acid, but let me get back to this guy. You can make batteries. You can take a canning machine, a fluid canning machine, for only 258 EU and 16,000 sulfuric acid. You can pump that into a large battery, 288,000. You can use transformers to break that down to smaller amounts, so I suggest using the large battery. And now, it is a single use, so you're thinking, well, isn't that a waste of resources as far as, tin, antinomy, and, no, not really. Once this guy's empty, you throw it in your extractor, you have a fresh battery hole. You can then stuff it with other stuff like lithium if you want to make the bigger batteries for storing power, or you can put it back in your machine here and can yourself up another battery, single-use battery. So it's really good for like one-off machines that you don't use very often. If you have an HV version, you can stick the battery in, or fill a battery buffer with a bunch of these and run something for a while. Like, let's say the oil pump, for example. Put those in a put a bunch of those in a battery buffer machine. Pipe that to a medium voltage transformer, and then connect that to your oil pump at medium voltage. You'll get a decent amount of oil for that. So it's it's another way to squeeze just a little bit more useful product out of your oil here. You can also use this to make TNT. Let me see if I can grab the recipe for that. Again, your booklet helps out with that. So you can make, let's see, I want to use this for it. Here we go. You can make dyes, but you can make dyes and paints if you want to pretty up your world. My base may be ugly, but maybe yours is going to be pretty. So go ahead and use that to make those things. Gelled toluene plus this TNT. Much better than the nitration mixture, which frankly didn't make a lot of sense to me to use. So I prefer to use the gelled toluene and sulfuric acid and kabam. There you go, cheap and easy TNT. I think that actually the nitration mixture might be used. Let's see. Look at the nitration mixture. I think that the nitration, which does mix sulfuric acid and nitric acid. I'm sorry, that's used to make industrial TNT. That's the difference. That's the difference. I've forgotten about that. There was an iTNT versus regular TNT. iTNT works more efficiently. There might be some things that can only work with iTNT. It does take more energy, and it takes a much better class of machine. You need at least a high voltage chemical reactor to do that. But it will become the sulfuric acid will become useful for making the nitration mixture that does this. The nitration mixture is also useful for, let's see. Oh no, it's not used in getting the platinum group sludge. The platinum group sludge, you use nitric acid and the nickel, some of the nickel ores, the chalcopyrite, and the pentlandite. So you mix them with those, you can get this platinum group sludge. It's one way to get osmium. and I think some iridium as well. If you haven't found a mine, really search until you find a mine, because it will. This method of obtaining this stuff in the Platinum Group sludge is absolutely painful. I did it in my last game, and I absolutely hated myself for it. I ended up getting one point of pile of osmium before I kind of just stopped doing it in frustration, and just because I was tired. Even though I tried to automate some of the steps, it was just an awful mess. You end up with a ton of this stuff left. This stuff here can then be broken down with an empty cell to get your metal and some metal, some oxygen, and sulfuric acid back. So that's another way to produce sulfuric acid. But your main way of doing it's going to be this guy here. Again, it's useful for squeezing extra power out. It's useful for making explosives, at least the lower level explosives. You can mix it with nitric acid to make higher levels. By the way, this machine here, it did jam up here. That's only because this stupid thing here kicked on for a minute. As soon as it gets done with its job, then this thing will pick up back where it left off, and oh, there it went. So that's sulfuric acid. So hopefully this is helpful for those of you who are wondering, what to do with all this hydric sulfide. And again, what do you use all the sulfuric acid for? Well, now you have your answer. So anyway, have fun, and thanks for watching.